The final approval to these regulations were provided by the CCPA the 24th of July. It is going through the OAL revision and approval, and these regulations will be coming into effect the date of such approval. But keep in mind that specific requirements in this regulations will come into effect in phases over the several next years. And the idea behind that is give organizations the time to prepare and put in place all the procedures they need to comply with the new requirements that they are included in these amendments. So the three pillars are the automated decision-making technology, the mandatory cybersecurity audits, and the formal risk assessment. For automated decision-making technology, they included new consumer rights to opt out of ADMT technology and to access information on that technology, and is supposed to cover AI systems as well. For mandatory cybersecurity audits, organizations that are covered by this requirement will have to do audits annually by independent auditors. And for formal risk assessment, business that are processing personal data for processing activities that poses risks for consumers will need to perform risk assessment. Other amendments included in these regulations are that they included neural data and the sensitive data definition. They also deleted the definition of AI and deleted every mention of AI throughout the regulation. They also included examples for insurance company to determine if they are covered by the CCPA, because even if the use of personal data for the insurance business is not covered, the use of personal information for other purposes, for example, as like managing their employee data, it is covered by the CCPA. So they are providing those examples through these regulations. And then the CCPA included some examples and clarifications around the same topics of the enforcement that they are doing. So around the symmetry of choices, around the dark patterns, and about the burden of unnecessary burdens for consumers to exercise their consumer rights. First, I'm going to talk about privacy notices. So privacy notices must be available through a link. Now, in every website, every web page where the organization is collecting personal information, not only in the homepage, which used to be before, and they also need to include those links in mobile settings in the menu of mobile applications. For consent, as I was saying, they included examples to explain further how dark patterns work and specifically around the symmetry of choice. And lastly, they included the requirement for organization to signal consumers that have opted out that their opt-out requests have been honored. So which is the overall impact of this regulation? I see that the CCPA is sending a signal that is saying that they don't want you just to comply with the requirements in the regulations and in the CCPA. They want you to demonstrate accountability. So by doing the assessments and the audits that are included in this regulations, you will be in a better, more easier way to demonstrate that you're actually complying with the requirements that are applicable to you. Also, you're going to see throughout the regulation language like do not explain with general terms or in a generic way. They really want you to explain what you're doing with the data, to understand how you're processing the data, and to transmit that to the consumers. So by that extra transparency and the assessments and audits that you're going to be doing is going to be ultimately easier to demonstrate your accountability.